Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor, and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Aries. If Aries is your solar, lunar, ascendant/rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. Okay, so our card tonight is the Adjustment card or the Justice card. Okay, and let's see what these tea leaves have to say tonight. Oh, goodness. There's a lot going on here. Right off the bat, I'm seeing kind of a face here. Two faces. I have one here, eyes, nose, mouth. And one right here, eyes, nose, mouth. Now, I just want to say before we get further into this, if you haven't subscribed, please think about doing that, considering it. If you do, you can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out, the next videos. And it is free to subscribe. I would love to have you here as part of the channel. All right, let's see. We'll come back around to those faces. Now I'm seeing another face right here. Okay, so it seems like we have, and we have a large eye right here. So my goodness, I feel like this is really quite a psychic time. And it's interesting because my last reading, the Taurus reading, it kind of had the same vibe. Although those ones were more clustered together, whereas this feels like you're experiencing in random places in your life kind of these almost supernatural occurrences. Now, I don't know if this is really like ghosts or intelligences or something within the psyche that is kind of just really almost like a bit frazzled, right? And a little bit jumpy, like almost not scared, but in a place where you could be scared easily, okay? And I feel like there's just really a strong presence of something kind of lingering. And it feels like a transient kind of spirit. Something that doesn't necessarily belong in your life, but somehow you came in contact with it. And I imagine this is kind of out in the wild, right? Maybe you went into a building or somebody's home, like maybe a place, a park, or some kind of, I don't know, somewhere with, it seems like somewhere with kind of almost like where you were walking, like you're taking a stroll. And it seems like a beautiful place. Somewhere that you were feeling pretty good in at home. But I feel like, hi Pudgy. Thank you for coming to say hello, you big baby. Come over here. Come on. And so you're out there doing your thing, enjoying your day. And it's almost kind of like something saw you and clung to you. I can almost imagine it like in the tree line, watching, just kind of really watching and deciding it was going to follow you to wherever you were going, right? Probably home. And so I think this thing has just been showing up. Now, I don't think that it has any ill will for you. Pudgy, you can't be on the table, honey. Come on. No, you're going to crash it all down, my love. Oh, it scratched me. Sometimes these cats like to be held like babies, as you've probably seen in my other readings if you watch them. But it's hard to get them to come down. Come on. Go on. Go find Daddy. He's in his room. He's in the bedroom. Go on. Okay, I'm sorry about that. Somebody left a comment today, I think. Maybe it was yesterday, I don't know. But they were like so mad because they're like, why do you keep pushing the cat off the table? And I'm like, I'm sorry. I would wish they could be here always. I love these cats, but they interrupt me. Not only that, they're just big. There's not a lot of room here. So hopefully I can get a different setup when we get into a new studio space and there's more room. But anyways, let's get back to this. Now we have the faces, right? We have the faces, and where did they go? Well, there's that one right there. And I know there was two of them over here. Oh yes, up here and over here. Okay, so yes, and I think that this is not anything that has ill will for you, but I do think that it can be kind of startling or concerning, when you start to feel something like all of a sudden in your life, and it's like, what is going on? Did I bring something? Did I wish for something into my life? Did I do something? Did I say the wrong words together and, manifest something? But no, I think sometimes we do. We're out there in the world and we pick something up. And so I think it's a good time to do some ritual cleansing, clearing out of spaces, making sure that there is a lot of fresh air coming through the house, and releasing some of the energies that are kind of stagnant in there. And if you feel comfortable asking this thing to go, telling it, there's no room here for you, really. I'm a little too busy with other things right now, but I wish you well, right? So we also have right here a goat. You can see the body, and here's the head. It's wearing a crown of flowers, and here is the front leg. And so we are getting into pretty soon. It's been a weird winter where I'm at. It's been pretty warm, so I already feel like it's fully spring. It's not, but pretty soon it will be spring, and or autumn if you are in the southern hemisphere. But now we are getting into this place where we need to start thinking about what will we be doing with ourselves in these next seasons? What are we going to begin to consider as projects, as our endeavors, our next thing? And so when I see this beautiful goat, I really do think that there is a sense of kind of maybe like volunteering, maybe giving your time to somebody who is already in your life, maybe a family member or a friend or somebody who is kind of needing some help, a little extra support. This could be that you have been considering some kind of new job in a support role for people. But whatever it is, I think that there's a sense of being of service, spending time with others, really kind of giving of yourself in a way that you can afford, right? Emotionally, psychically. I'm not thinking financially so much, but really this is about giving your time, right? And paying attention. And listen, we think of volunteering often as, there's all kinds of things you can do to volunteer. But I think one of the most important things, and it's not talked about, I think, at the depth it needs to be, is that when we give people time, we're just with them, especially people who don't have other people. Okay, they maybe are elderly. A lot of their family has passed on. They maybe are living in some kind of facility. They don't have visitors very often. Whatever it is, or they're living at home, right? And they don't have anybody coming to visit them or see them or helping them with little tasks and things. So I think it's really important that we remember there's a whole generation of people who are, and it's a big generation. This is a heavily populated group of people who we don't want to forget, right? These are people that, like anybody else, they get lonely. They want to be with others, as we all do, right? And so I think this is a time where you're acutely aware of this. I think this is a time where I can see you really getting out there and really just showing up, right? Sitting with somebody, listening to them, telling them about yourself, telling them about your day, joking, laughing. It's kind of not to compare somebody who's older to a child, but I feel like there's the same kind of treatment in a way where when kids are young, we talk to them like babies, right? We do the silly voice and it's really high and at some point you have to stop with that, right? Like my daughter, she's almost 4. We didn't really talk to her like that for very long, maybe when she was just a little baby, but she would not put up with it now. So, I think when we are around people who are quite older, we can get into that same, like, trying to be careful, talking really loud, simplifying the things that we're saying to them. We don't want to offend them, which of course we want to honor and respect everybody. But I think that so often it's like, just treat me like a person. Just talk to me like a person. I need a friend. I need a companion. I need somebody who sees me as a normal, worthwhile human being. Okay, and I think that this is something that you're really good at doing. I think that you see people past all of the identifiers and personality stuff and persona and whatever. You see somebody as a being and fully, a child of the divine, as we all are. There's kinship in you. Unlike most of the signs, I would say it's something very rare because it is so authentic. You do it so well. It looks easy. When somebody like myself looks at you and you're talking and you're charming and you can relate to people. And I think of me, this stumbly Virgo, Aquarius, Capricorn type person, and I don't know what to say. I'm scared that I'm standing funny or I'm breathing too loud or where do I put my hands while I'm talking, and all of these things. But for an Aries person, I really do think You know, there's something very special about your ability to not only communicate, but to really take in somebody else as a authentic and entire being. I'm not going to say I'm jealous, but I do envy that a little bit. Yes, I do. I do. Maybe a lot. Okay, let's see. What else do we have here? Okay, so yes. Now we have the beautiful, the gorgeous. We have the snake handler goddess. The goddess of holding snakes, okay? And I always forget. Is it Crete? Is it Turkey? I don't know. It's somewhere in there, right? I think it's the Cretan. It's a Cretan goddess, and it's one of the oldest, right? And so we have this beautiful image of an arcane goddess. You can see the kind of the lower part. We can see the mammaries there, and then and I touched it. The snake and the other snake up here. Okay, so this is the fiery, the passionate, the bearer of knowledge. This is the place where we go and we know love unlike any other love. This is where we find the thing that makes us feel alive, the thing that we cannot live without, the thing that gets us up out of bed in the morning, that gets us going, that puts a little pep in our step. We click our heels while we're walking to our car. You know, this is the place that we all hope to be sometimes, right? And to know it in a way that transcends just the physical world. Okay, when we get to this point where we begin to know the archetypes, we begin to know the mythologies, we know the aspects of these goddesses, of these gods. Now, you don't have to worship them. You don't even have to think of them as, real things. But they hold knowledge, each one of them. They hold attributes of life. They all have lessons. They have, it's a complex maze to be worked out. Okay. And by visiting them in your mind, right, we learn about ourselves, because it ultimately is a mirror. It is a mirror to our own labyrinth, right? The thing that we are working out. And so I look at this and I see we're in a place where, you're finding balance. We have that justice adjustment card. We are thinking deeply about the things that really motivate us, our authentic and true will, okay? When we are young, we might really be close to the things that really speak to our soul. We're not burdened by understanding shame so much, or guilt, or things being not cool, or that's so nerdy, or that's boring, or, whatever. You're young, you just do what you do. You want to explore the world. You want to learn things. You bask in your impressions and sensations the world is revealing to you. And as we become more and more conditioned, we lose our ability to live in that imaginative place. We become less brave. Most of us do anyways. And we hide the things that we care about, because it's a harsh world. And people, this is one thing I've learned through this channel, but I've known, kind of, I guess, but I've learned through this channel through people who are not very nice, once in a while, not very nice. Absolutely, people do not like to be met with somebody who is very passionate about something when they are feeling like they haven't found their thing, or their thing has not worked out for them, or whatever it is. They're feeling disconnected, okay? And I understand that because I've definitely been somewhat of a hater in my life as well, especially when I wasn't doing well. You know, like some of you might know, if you watch the channel, I'm in recovery. I have been for almost 10 years. So there have been times in my life where I was definitely spiraling a bit, and I was not very nice. I was not nice. And I was hurting, you know. So I understand that. But here's the thing. We cannot dim our light for other people. We're going to have to figure out, and I'm talking to myself right here, figure out how to just keep on keeping on with it. You know, you're never going to make everybody happy. So I look at this and I think, here you are, not even concerned with that aspect, maybe. I don't know. Maybe getting past it. Maybe you're at a point in your life where you're, who cares anymore? I'm going to do what I do. I've paid my dues. I've done all of my insecure years. I've done all of my shame. I've done my guilt. I put in the time, and now I'm going to pour it all out the window, right? Just like a cup of water or whatever. Pour it out. I'm done with all of that. It is time to really embody the unstoppable, all-wise, all-powerful, the great goddess, right? Oof. What an energy that is. We also have this solar, it's not the solar cross, but it's the circle with the dot in it, okay? And so, yeah, there's clarity, there's energy, it is burning bright, and I feel like you are in the place that you should be. You know this, you feel this. Nobody is going to slow you down. Also, we have a heart. Here we go. I don't know how much you want to hear this one, but we have a heart with an arrow through it. So there is an aspect of love here. If it is invited or not, it seems like you are a bit in love with somebody. Maybe this is somebody you have an established relationship with. Maybe not. Maybe this is kind of a crush, an emerging relationship. But it seems like it feels quite holy. This is the metaphysical kind of spiritual zone up here on the rim. Then we have the emotional. This would be the physical world. So this is a love that I could see really becoming something that is everlasting, if you so choose. I think this is a very good match here. And I think it's worthwhile. You know, I think that I have been meditating a lot this week on the idea of love being something that is very interrelated with the idea of consideration for one another. If you are with somebody or you have a love for somebody and you consider their feelings, you consider how they would feel about something, you consider, even silly things like, okay, we're going to go to a restaurant. I want something, whatever. They don't like that. They would want something like this. Maybe that doesn't sound good to me, but maybe we'll find some common ground somewhere, like a place that has a wider menu or something, right? And we're going to figure it out because I'm being considerate, because this person is also considerate of my, my needs, my wants, and so on. And this is, I don't know about you, but consideration is maybe one of the most romantic aspects of life, but it's also something that we have in other relationships. And if it is not there, it seems like that would be a relationship that is, I don't know, difficult. Like something that would be hard to stay in, something that would be hard to sustain. So, this relationship I see here seems like something that could definitely really be considerate forward. This is somebody that you would be willing to compromise on some things for. But also, I think, have the room to be yourself as well. Okay? No need to be anything but what you are. And that's a really beautiful dynamic. Okay? And it's the most necessary one, I think. So we have a person with a wheelbarrow doing some kind of movement of earth. We also have a fish and we have a bridge. So I do feel like there's a sense of moving something around in your life, building something, beginning to build something. I feel like this is something where maybe you're starting a company or something like this. Some kind of something that you care about, because we have a fire here under the bridge. Something you really care about, but this is going to be something that is going to be monetarily beneficial to you. This is kind of your win, your big win, okay? It's maybe will take some time, but I think that you're going to be moving some things around so you have time to put into this. And I think it will begin as kind of a side hustle or a side project or a passion project. But I think that you will do well. And we have, like I said, we have that fish up there. So, this is going to be your bridge into this other part of your life where I think things will become a lot more stable financially, okay? Less worry, for sure, okay? But it's going to take some work. And it's going to take some patience and consistency. I mean, really devoting yourself to this. And I think this is going to bring that balance, okay? Yes. All right, so let's look at the Divine Doors, our Divine Doors cards. And I'm just going to go ahead, flip, stop where it feels right. That's a pretty door. I don't remember this one. Oh, palmistry, fortune and tarot, collective destiny. The palm lines from birth tell your sacred, palmistry. Tell your sacred palmistry. Your palm lines from birth tell your sacred palmistry. Listen to the notes of intuition. Yeah, I mean, maybe you should go and find a palmistry or palm reader. Somebody who practices palmistry. I've never done that. I know there have been people in here who have read my palms. But I've never had it done before in depth. It's actually something that's it sounds pretty interesting. I've tried to learn some of it. Here's the thing for me is that I don't like to touch strangers. I'm like, even people I love and know well, besides my daughter and my husband, I don't really like to be touched by other people. And I don't like to touch other people. So it always It gives me such anxiety to think about somebody, touching my hand and stuff. But now I realize, as I've gotten further into divination, is that sometimes they can take like a print of your hand or a picture, or, look at it from afar. And, yeah, so maybe it's something to think about doing, because I would be interested in that as well. But let me just tell you, this is my little PSA, is please, please, please make sure you go to somebody is reputable. Please do not give out pictures of your hands or your fingers. You have fingerprints. You have other things that are markers and whatever for identification. So be careful who you give your details out to, okay? At least be mindful about it. I know, and I'm here with my hands on camera all the time. But, I just worry about people in their privacy and safety and stuff. So just be mindful. Make sure that you find somebody that you trust, who has some reviews, or is somebody that, or you have been given recommendation by somebody that you know. Right, T? Maybe TT could get into palm reading. Would you get into palmistry? I think you'd be the cutest little palmist. Right? And actually, if you read palms, please put it in the comments. We all really want to find somebody. So, yeah, please advertise yourself. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and tell you I love you, and thank you so much for spending this time with me. It's always such an honor to be able to do these readings for you, to bring them to you. Yes, if you would be so kind as to like the video, it really does help the channel so much. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next videos are coming out. It is free to subscribe. And if you have not, I already said that. And if you'd like to leave a comment, please do. You can tell I'm unraveling at this point. It has been such a long day. Okay, I've got it. I'm gonna get myself together here. But yes, I do. I love you. I thank you. We will talk again in just a few days, Aries. Good night. Goodbye.